If you have a Squarespace website and you want to learn how to optimize your images on Squarespace, then this video is for you, because I'm going to be walking you through the 3 key things that you need to do on Squarespace in order to optimize your images. And for those of you that don't know me, my name's Henry Purchase and I made Squarespace, the SEO plugin for Squarespace. So I've worked with over 5,000 Squarespace websites and I've seen what people do wrong when it comes to image optimization on Squarespace. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 key things. And I'm also going to highlight one thing that Squarespace actually does that might be holding back your image optimization without you even realizing. And just getting straight into it, the reason why we want to optimize our images on Squarespace is for 3 key reasons. First of all, for website user experience. If you've got huge images that are super big, it's going to slow down your website, which means a slow page loading speed, which means Google isn't going to rank you as highly and website visitors are potentially going to leave due to your slow site. The second thing which links onto this, if we don't optimize our images, it means Google may not rank us as high, because images are a super important area of SEO. And don't quote me on this, but I think it's around 10% of searches on Google are actually image searches. So we want to make sure we're doing everything that we can to soak up those searches and make sure that our images are optimized. And then thirdly, images are also important because it plays a massive visual part of your website. So if they're not optimized and you're not putting yourself in your user's shoes to learn what they want to be seeing on your website, you're potentially holding your site back. But getting straight into it, I'm going to be walking you through the 3 things that you need to do. Now, what I always do on my web pages, I'll always scan them with Squarespace, because Squarespace, the SEO plugin for Squarespace, is going to automatically flag up 2 of the 3 things that you need to be doing on your Squarespace website. The first of which is you need to make sure that you add alt text to every single image. Now, alt text stands for alternative text, and it's essentially text on an image that will describe what it shows for accessibility purposes. So if a blind person comes to your website, it allows them to still understand what the image is showing without, of course, being able to see it. So alt text is super important for this and therefore super important for SEO. So as you can see here, for the purpose of this video, I've removed the alt text from this image. So when I go into Squarespace, it's going to flag all the images on this web page which don't have alt text. So as you can see here, this is missing alt text. So all I need to do is come onto the Squarespace editor, double click this and then add alt text. And as you can see here, all you need to do is describe what is showing. And of course, this is the Squarespace SEO plugin. So just add that. Alt text actually automatically saves. For some reason, you don't have to press save, it automatically saves. And of course, what I would do here is I would have to refresh to allow this page to pick up the changes. And then I would rescan it with Squarespace and it's going to tell me that I've now got alt text. So that's the first thing. Make sure you go through that process and then add alt text. And then the second thing is actually sizing your images. Now, Squarespace actually recommends to compress your images below 250 kilobytes. However, I actually disagree with this for 2 key reasons. First of all, when you look across the internet and you see what other SEO experts say, often they'll say that you need to compress your images below 100 kilobytes. So for me, 500 kilobytes is just far too big. And the second reason, Squarespace websites actually get really low page speed scores. So in my opinion, I believe that every Squarespace user should do everything that they can in order to speed up their website, and optimizing and compressing their images is one of the biggest things that they can do, which is why I actually recommend you compress all of your images below 250 kilobytes. Now, of course, if your website and your business relies on you having really crisp, high quality images, then of course you can stick with Squarespace's recommendation of less than 500 kilobytes, but in general, you want 250. And as you can see here, this is telling me that this main image on this web page is actually greater than 250 kilobytes. However, personally, as you can see, it's only 270 kilobytes. And because this is the main image on my homepage, for me, I'd rather it be a little bit too big and still keep the best quality possible without compressing it below 250 and potentially ruin the quality. However, if you did want to compress it, all you need to do with Squarespace once it's flagged the image is click on it and it's going to take you to imagecompressor.com. All you then need to do is download the image, drag and drop it into imagecompressor.com, compress it below 250 kilobytes, and then re-upload it to your Squarespace webpage. which actually leads me on to the third and final thing that I want you to be doing in order to optimize your images on Squarespace before I then take you onto the thing that Squarespace actually throws you under the bus with. And what the third thing is actually naming images. When it comes to naming images, as you can see here, I want you to make sure if your image name is multiple words, instead of leaving spaces, I want you to add hyphens. And the reason that adding hyphens is super important is when Google goes through your website and reads the image name, if it has spaces, Google is not going to be able to tell that your image file name is multiple words. It's just going to see, in this case, it would just see Squarespace SEO plugin as one word, which would make it really hard for Google to actually tell what's going on here. So if your image file name is multiple words, add hyphens between each word so it's really easy for Google to understand. And then of course, because I re-uploaded the image, I need to add back in the alt text. So there you are, guys. That is the three things. Make sure that you're adding alt text to your images, make sure you're compressing them below 250 kilobytes, and make sure that you follow proper naming convention by adding hyphens in between each word, which then takes us actually to the thing that Squarespace does that sometimes can throw you under the bus. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to head over to the image that you saw in the video earlier. You saw that I compressed it. Here you can see that I actually compressed it to 96 kilobytes. However, what Squarespace actually does when you upload images actually often increases the size of them after you upload them. So what I always want you to do, we actually have some people say to us, they'll get in contact to support and they'll say, Henry, I've compressed this image below 250 kilobytes. However, SEO Space is still telling me that it's greater than 250 kilobytes. And this is actually a thing that Squarespace does, which can be super annoying. As you can see here, the file size has gone back to 270. And then actually when I download the image, so if I go save and then head over to my downloaded images, you can actually see that it is around 270. So even though we've downloaded this image, we've compressed it below 250 kilobytes. When we then re-uploaded it back to Squarespace, Squarespace actually increases the file size when you upload it. So I've told you the three things that you need to do when it comes to image optimization, but please, 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 once you've re-uploaded the compressed image, you need to check it because Squarespace can throw you under the bus and increase the file size. And while it can be annoying, it is worth doing everything that you can in order to optimize your images because, as I've already mentioned, it's great for user experience, it'll improve your search engine rankings, and of course, it will help you get more target customers to your website. But there you are, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel where I regularly share Squarespace SEO tips in order to attract more target customers to your website. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next video.